Why Americans are getting poorer every year. Most people think getting poorer happens suddenly. A recession, a job loss, a financial crisis. But for millions of Americans and Europeans, it happens much more quietly. Nothing dramatic changes. They still go to work, they still receive a paycheck, they still live in a decent apartment and drive a reliable car. From the outside, life looks stable. But year after year, something subtle is happening. Despite working full-time, many people are slowly becoming poorer. And the strange part is, most of them don't realize it. Imagine a fairly typical situation in the United States. A young professional in their late 20s. Let's say they earn $65,000 per year. That sounds like a respectable middle-class salary. But after federal tax, state tax, and payroll deductions, the take-home income is closer to $4,000 per month. Now the real math begins. Rent for a modest apartment, $1,700. Car payment and insurance, $650. Student loan payment, $400. Groceries, $400. Utilities, internet, phone, $250. Already that's $3,400 per month. And we haven't even included gas, health insurance deductibles, subscriptions, dining out, clothes, unexpected expenses. In reality, the average person in this situation might spend $4,200 per month, which means they're technically losing $200 every month. But it doesn't feel like losing money, because credit cards quietly fill the gap. This is where the system becomes interesting. Credit cards don't just allow spending, lifestyle stability without income stability. You can maintain the same life, even while your finances slowly deteriorate. And psychologically, this feels safe. Humans are extremely sensitive to lifestyle loss. Losing comfort feels painful, so people avoid it at all costs, even if it means slowly accumulating debt. Now add inflation to the picture. Over the last decade, the cost of living in many American and European cities has risen dramatically. Housing, healthcare, education, insurance. But wages have not increased at the same pace. This creates a quiet squeeze. Every year, expenses rise a little faster than income, and people adapt in small ways. A slightly bigger car loan, a slightly higher credit card balance, a slightly longer mortgage. Nothing feels catastrophic, but mathematically, something important is happening. Let's look at a simple example. If someone carries $10,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest, they pay $2,000 per year, just in interest. That's money that produces nothing. No asset, no investment, no future value. Just a financial leak. Now imagine that continuing for 10 years. That's $20,000 gone, simply to maintain a lifestyle that already happened in the past. This is one of the least discussed financial problems in modern middle-class life. Most people assume wealth depends on income level, but in reality, wealth is mostly determined by financial friction. Small, continuous costs that quietly drain future wealth. Interest payments, car depreciation, subscription creep, housing inflation. Each one seems manageable individually. A system where working harder doesn't necessarily lead to getting ahead. This is why many financially intelligent people think differently about money. Not emotionally, but structurally. They don't ask, how much can I afford per month? They ask something more uncomfortable. How much future freedom am I trading for this purchase? A $700 car payment is not just a car payment. It might represent $8,400 per year. Over 10 years, that's $84,000. And if that same money were invested instead, the long-term difference becomes enormous. Not because of clever investing, but because of avoiding unnecessary financial drag. The reality is this: most Americans aren't becoming poorer because they are irresponsible. And they aren't becoming poorer because they don't work hard. In many cases, they're becoming poorer because the modern financial environment quietly encourages spending today and worrying later. Credit systems make the present comfortable, but the future quietly absorbs the cost. Understanding this doesn't require extreme frugality, and it doesn't require abandoning normal life. It simply requires noticing the math behind everyday financial decisions. Because once you see the structure clearly, you start making decisions differently. Not out of fear, but out of awareness.